For today's news segment, we have an exclusive interview with the different actors in a new film called Silent Pursuit. This film is expected to have a high use of conventions in the horror and thriller genres, while also representing social groups and issues. So let's ask the actors their feelings on how these concepts were developed throughout the film. What's your name?
Olivia Nair.
When you were filming, did you notice any surprising elements that deviated from typical horror conventions?
Considering it was a horror film, I thought all these scary scenes were going to be closer to the beginning, but instead we had many joyful films of us getting ready, and it was a good time.
Were there any social groups you noticed represented in the film? If so, what were they and how are they shown?
The first one, I would say teenagers and how they are very rebellious. Our film very repelled from that and showed that teenagers can be well mannered and put together. And the other one I would say feminism because many girls today are nervous that they are going to be attacked and things like that, and it really showed how scared girls can be.
What's your name?
Michelle.
In filming, were there any stereotypes you noticed in the narrative?
Yes, I noticed the stereotype against women where they're always attacked by the men, and also where it's like your typical teenager and they're not being believed.
How were these stereotypes conveyed and were they challenged or used?
The stereotypes were conveyed and they were shown through the murder of my character.
What familiar horror thriller genre conventions were shown throughout the project?
The murder weapon itself, the stalker plot, and also the murderer being dressed in all black, which is a suspicious color.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
Jackson Johnson.
When you were acting, what character archetypes did you notice in the typical horror genre?
In the movie, we had a hero, a best friend, and a villain, which aligned with the hesitant hero, the skeptic, and the antagonist. And
How did you try to align yourself with your role and the stereotypes that go along with it?
so for my character, I used more creepy body language to try and add suspense and tension to the scenes.
To summarize, the goal of today's interviews was to determine how the director used conventions and representation of societal concepts. According to the actors, the director did this by prioritizing specific elements like clothing, props, and body language to show themes, and through the development of a narrative that dramatizes prominent issues in society today.